heard what was happening, it will remain 2 persons to sign. Our me, our Bani, Jim Bani. But when I went to Kun, I said, what is going on? You were here when we had sent paper, and you were here with our own leadership, and we sent the report with all documents, legal documents, to guide where. Then Baka benefited from the 2010 decision by the Supreme Court to be involved in the election in 2011 because he was not wrong with them.
You're right. You're right.
He benefited.
You're right.
Then after serving about for 12 years now, he's now president now. We finished campaign for that kind of Ome, and he won't persecute us. He does grant to persecute us. So what is going on with Kun? Then Kun said, well, what I will do for you is to help you with lawyer. Your partner said, go look for lawyer. It was from Kun offered my own son offered that I went and signed a resolution. Try for breaker.
Okay.
Because when we have wrote, the Senate did a comprehensive report of their findings and attached the Supreme Court ruling and the amnesty law and everything. And the position statement for those commissioners who decided from there to where. And said the way forward is a Panama House discussion for peace. Then when Brother come now, he is deceived by coming there. They Dillon there, Yombi there. And he now where he's just taking all kind of way, Brother, all kind of thing. He want to go after people. Then, you know, the CDC still control the lower house in the upper house.
Mm-hmm.
So they went talking away, talking of thing they did, but they did a resolution that passed. Yeah, because of money crossing.
Yeah.
Then they sent it to the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
Then something happened. Pow! All that they almost signed to Yombi house. Then they brought it that Tuesday morning. They didn't tell me they had it for me. Oh. Then when I heard what was happening, it will remain 2 persons to sign. Our me, our Bani, Jim Bani. Now when I went to Kun, I said, what is going on? You were here when we had sent paper, and you were here with our own leadership, and we sent the report with all documents, legal documents, to guide where. Then Baka benefited from the 2010 decision by the Supreme Court to be involved in the election in 2011 because he was not wrong with them.
You're right. You're right.
He benefited.
You're right.
Then after serving about for 12 years now, he's now president now. We finished campaign for that kind of Ome, and he won't persecute us. He does grant to persecute us. So what is going on with Kun? Then Kun said, well, what I will do for you is to help you with lawyer. Your partner said, go look for lawyer. It was from Kun offered my own son offered that I went and signed a resolution. I'm not saying that why you did this. You know what he told me?
No.
Resolution is not a law. So starting the resolution, I mean, we agree. Bring it now. When Baka send a bill, they will not put all the law they put in now and back it.
Oh, okay. That was a smart move.
I said correct move. Yeah, correct move.
And the government need to really invest. The people like you that get the type of structure. They come say even if we are just be getting $1 million for the budget year every year they give $1 million. You impact a lot of people.
If I were president of this country, I should go out show you his wonder. You're not believing. We told Joshua for what? You're a footballer.
Yeah.
A football in the very country. A football being medicine in the head.
No.
We have to tell Ellen Johnson because she's from Harvard University.
Yeah.
What will the board do for you? No passion for development. Then we know Joshua will put the millions men in the whole world.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Connections that you not get it. Yeah.
You have no connection.
Yeah. Just say that Doma, all kind of things that just happen here. No administration, no heat, no tea.
When he was 12 years over early. Ellen did not want him to become president. So Ellen did not introduce him to many leaders. Ellen was doing her thing on her own. She had traveled from country to country and kept a man in the garage for 12 years, according to Boyka himself.
Yes.
That means he was not empowered to meet any leader. When the African leader themselves need support from the West.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
all African leaders, they need support from the West.
Yeah.
No African leader will help another African leader with money for development.
Yeah.
In the West,
Yeah.
it does not have that contact.
So Liberia is in trouble. But I tell you this, I still repeat, if the president refuses to change, then the government is in trouble. The government, if you finish this government, let's thank God. Because as from next year, it's said to be fluctuating. And all the people that is in the government, they are liars. All of them. They don't know why they are there. They don't know what they are doing. They don't know the reason of staying in that system. They are just pushing the vehicle like this. They don't know where they don't know where it's going. So the forefathers of Liberia, they are in pains. It's very regrettable. Even the former president, Syphilis, is even regret having this person as a president. So that is just it. They believe that Dr. Ware is too much for Liberia. That is the man who have brought transformation to Liberia. That is a man who have turned Liberia to mini London or mini US. And he will have done it in second term. But they don't understand. They are angry with him. They believe that he's against them. They believe that he doesn't like Liberians. That's what they believe. That's what they believe. You say Liberia will be zero in sports. Zero. Zero. Tell me something. Zero. When I go to Nations Cup now, go to Nations Cup, let's see. Let me see the Nations Cup. Go to Nations Cup, I'll give $500,000. If you qualify for Nations Cup, I'll give your national team $500,000. I promise your national team, if they go to that, exactly what you are experiencing in Liberia now. If you don't know, in 2 years' time, Liberia will be worse. Will be one of the worstest country in the whole world. What I mean, worstest country in the whole world. If the Liberia will not protest against this government, tell me there is no God. If Liberia will not begin to cry, coming together to cry and said, we don't want you again, leave, resign, tell me there is no God, I will never serve God again. I am a prophet of God, and I'm talking as a prophet. Right. The hardship, you have not seen that ship now. In 2 years' time, you will see the hardest hardship you have never experienced. Liberia will drink dirty water, and they will be thanking God for drinking. That's the kind of president you have. This president does not have anything. He doesn't have any template. He doesn't have any roadmap for the nation. They just force him there. It was a rigged election. Rigged election. It was forced on you people. It was forced to be president. So, and the people who connive to do all of this and put him there, right? US.
You mean US, the United States?
United States. They are involved in this election. I am telling you, not politically, I am telling you spiritually what I foresaw. It was rigged. Totally rigged. And now they have seen it, that this person does not know anything. This person cannot help the nation. This person cannot put the nation right.
President Bouakar's 2025 budget will determine his clear vision for the country. It also includes the development of some of these problems. For instance, I know it can be argued understandably that the overpower bridge that the Chinese government is about to build, and they strip the road from 30 Bolivar to 12th Street. They were all in the Puebla, that's true. But it was blocked in the Puebla. President Boakar's visit to China, reassuring China that when we are taking action on the global stage, we will take it with our own interest first as a country, not to please any other person before Liberia's interest, and then people fighting them will join inside and go stand for.
Yeah.
So you see, he visited to the FOCA, to the China Africa Forum, has now got China excited with the new commitment to come do this project. They are in town already. You call the Minister of Public Works, he will tell you the Chinese government will waste time when they say they want to do something. But when you start on their interest, then you're in problem with them. Now, anytime we want to do anything on the global stage, the first question we should be asking, what's in it for us as a country and people? And if what's in it for us is good as a country and people, if other countries benefit from the trickle-down effect of our vote, okay. But we must never again vote on something that will hurt ourselves as a country and people to please any other country.
Liberia, like I said, is one of the best countries in the world, whether you believe it or not. You understand? Yeah, it's a small country. It's one of the best countries. You know, we are very good people. And then I think what we should strive for is for our country to survive. You know, and that's why we promote peace in our country. You know, for so many years we've been promoting peace. And people that brought war still continue to have the face and idea of discrimination. This is wrong, and we will not sit as citizens of this country. I was in opposition before. I faced this thing before, and then of course I'm in opposition. We'll put check to that.
Wow. And these things happen in the wake of these turbulent times. You know, the economic hardship is very high, and there were people that you may have placed on payroll and so forth here and there. But these are Liberians in the wake of all of these hardships. They have been taking off jobs, and some of them could be angered by that and take matters into their own hands. And you are a man of peace. And if they did support you and they are suffering because they are associated with you, people have been taking up 10 new positions. Whoever associated with you, either directly or indirectly, they have been taking up jobs. These things could anger people and they could take matters in their own hands. What say you to this? Yeah.
Maybe the international community that were reminding us to make sure that we don't break the rules and regulations. They are still there. And we have to respect the laws of the Republic. That's what we did. When I was in power, when they tell me that no, this is a tenure position, you cannot move the person until their tenure expires. So be it. That's the law. We can't break the law. So I hope that the government will take heed. It's important to respect the law of the Republic. We're not a democratic period. So we need to respect the law. All we look for is to respect the law, and that's what we did.
Looking at the common people are losing their jobs at various places as well. Not just only tenure position holders. They are the ones that feeling the pinch the most. They got nothing.
Maybe when you are angry and you let the wrong people thinking that they are the savior is wrong. You know what I'm saying? We were in opposition before. If you employ poor people that have the minimum, and somebody come to power and believe that because they associate with other people, they have to be taking a job. This is very bad. That's not good. No leader can do that. You know, and what $50 job, $100 job. You mean the government that come to power that came to rescue cannot even give a $50, $100 job, lead a citizen on that job? This is wrong. It's wrong. It be everything that they're doing wrong, and we know that. You know, but again, the peace of Liberia is the most important. It's the most important, and that's why we in accordance with the law. You know, this is wrong. People supported the Unity Party. I came to power. I left them there. These are citizens of the country. But you can employ a Senegalese man and you refuse to employ a Liberian. Is that what it is? No, it's wrong. It's wrong. Everything that they're doing is wrong. Maybe the disrespect is wrong. Breaking our laws is wrong. And the old men know that. Baba know that. Baba know that. When we were there, the Baba, we used to go to him, even be Baba because of a title. You know what I'm saying? Like he come to because of a title. You see what he's doing? You get a lot of council around here and thinking that the people in front of council, it's a lie. It's a lie. Wow. You should be concerned as well. Why is it that you're in opposition? You should be concerned. You also have a responsibility to meet the needs of the country. The burden and shifted on the government to meet the peace. AB, I've always kept the peace of the Republic of Liberia.
Okay.
During Ellen time, I've kept the peace. During President Dota, I kept the peace. Amos I kept the peace. Chancellor I kept the peace. I have never broken anything in this country. I work for peace in our country, and I'm on record. Even the United Nations know that I work for peace. So I'm not trying to break the peace. What I'm telling you that those people that say they came to rescue us, they are breaking the laws of the republic, and it is wrong. If you can't see it, AB, it is wrong. It is wrong. Because in the government that I serve, any position was respected. Today, you can say that you're taking the person off because he associated with somebody. No, but you see, we are different. The respect I have for Ellen Johnson said, please, I kept that respect. And the respect I kept for her, to respect the laws of the Republic. I even work with Ellen Johnson as a peace ambassador. You understand? So, I don't have a issue of keeping the peace of the country. Of course, we are peaceful. But we will not allow people to break our laws and then intimidate or people and we just sit. That would never happen. You know, we're in opposition. Ellen Johnson, Madam Ellen Johnson said, let me give her the respect because that's somebody that I respect so much. She did some things that we disagree and we went to her and spoke to her. By the rule of law, you know, we have the right to protest and we protest, we went to Ellen and she understood that. She came on the table and we talked. You understand? Disrespecting leaders that are traveling and you refuse for them to use the laws that they built and Liberia said that and say, yeah, it's right. No, it's not right. The Boaka man, he was not even president and we gave him a VIP all the time traveling. What you're doing is wrong and you need to wake up. Those things are wrong. Those things are wrong. Everybody said that. You want that change? Boaka was not the change. Boaka was never the change. Those few people that believe that all the years, almost 171 years, they left this country, they wanted to come back because where they went, there was no passion. They think that they can get in Liberia and lie, say they came for a change. There's never came for a change. Why they change it? To break the laws is why they change it? No. There will be a period and we'll check. But again, like I said to all Tunisians, and that's what you saw today, in the ring, go to have your program and be peaceful. Enjoy yourselves. Be together, recalibrate. You know what I'm saying? Regain the people confidence. And Liberians are there. You got some sound Liberians that believe that we were the right group. Yes, I'm not saying that everything was roses. No, but we fought for this country in the midst of pandemic. Liberia shine among the great nations. So what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? So the disrespect to our citizens is wrong. It's wrong. You know, it's wrong. Respect the law. And I did not bring 10 jobs. We met it. The Unity Party left it with us, and we respected it. So what's going on? Is it that Waka angry because doing any time or 10 jobs, and you want to break it because you are not happy? Is that why you're saying to us?
Let me say good evening to all of you wherever you are. It's great joining us tonight right here on this very day, and we are certainly getting there, and with God all things are possible. Each time it's on Friday, I think about those days when we were in La Grand Bassa County, and though it's about time, but I will always contemplate that song that we will come to class with and then reserve it until the bell ringing period had come. Yes, we used to leave school, from in the morning hours, even morning, and of course, afternoon sections. Yeah, we could wait for the last 5 minutes before we leave class at a time. That song you have to study it at all costs. And every time it was Friday to go to school, you prepare yourself so that will be the sound of song. Yeah. Goodbye to you, teacher. It's time for us to go. We come to school on Monday. Those days were the good days. And of course, when you could mention Friday, but you have to be in Friday before you sing that song. Yeah. And some days, some teachers used to really love it until they would let you sing it every day to be a sign-up song for the day. So come to school on Monday, on Tuesday. But the best time I used to really raise the chorus, and I could put my all into it, was on Fridays. Though we could sing it any other day, but on Fridays alone, I couldn't just jab it because I knew that I was going for the weekend. Those days were stressful moments because every time you came to class, at our beating spelling, 2 times table, your times table, they will be you for a. So, in fact, a Friday umpire used to be special. Friday that was special for beating spelling. Yeah. So they used to teach on really this or did there to or to. But anyway, no problem. Here we are today. Can you imagine that? Yeah. But we were always interested in the songs. Yeah, that was great. But again, thank you. Today is Friday. And we are grateful to the Almighty God that we are here together to do what we can. Folks, good news for we've been beyond the line talking to radio entertainment and our partners. We know that times are hard, and so they got to buckle up and help our people out in terms of catch awards. They will be winning, especially when they play as a motivation for them. So our Friday's edition now is stepped up to 25K. It's not 20,000, so it's 25K that you will be able to win when you play with the same code and the same amount. So the *7 and *25 hash, and it's on Friday. It's the Friday's jackpot, but this time it's 25 hash for 25K. 25 hash for 25K. So you'll get 25K when you play, and we're going to prioritize it, and that is very much important. Your calls will come up, and we'll try to prioritize more winners for that. All right. So exclusively is for today, and on Fridays, and we're going to see what will happen in the coming months. But again, it's now stepped up from 20K on Fridays to 25K. So the same amount, but of course the cash awards going to step up now to 25K. So the *7 and *25 hash, you can play now, and then when you become a winner as a result of the draw, we will be able to give you that 25K, and that's why it is right here tonight. Let me say hands up to all of our fantastic students, those of you who have been in this class for entirely a week and so forth. We are grateful to the Almighty God, and some of our students who will leave this class here for some basic schedules. For our working students, let me can give you something. Me, I a little bit clear with people. I don't joke with people, and I a little bit clear. For our working students, because J reported himself today to me offline, and J said that AB, I've been very busy, and sometimes I'm in class, sometimes I'm off class. So I told him, I said once, once you are not in class, and the reason for you not in class is economically bringing some benefit to the school or the teacher, you are free to go, no problem. In as much as you will come back to school with something, your absence is not a problem. You know the class, yeah. Anybody, you know, some of these churches then are the people running all over the place. The member then who can go to church regularly but can carry fat offering to the pastor. The pastor don't get problem with your attendance. He doesn't have problem with you. That the people one then who can what they call though they are absent, whatever it will undermine the church attendance. But if I didn't go to church, and I know that when I come one Sunday, the pastor will get a late. You think the pastor care? Once I can tell the pastor, say, "Oh, I went to work one morning." They say, "Pastor, no, when I get something from there, his share will come." So as a result of that, how we are operating here now. So any student who doing a lucrative job, and for any reason that you're not coming to class, just tell me a certain job you're going to do for which you are not coming to class. I will not get problem with you. In as much as you are going to bring some economic dividends to this class here, your absence is not an issue. So J, very good. How will be treating you now? So no problem. And so when you go like that, again, minus 10 points, it depends. The only time the 10 points will be minus for there, except nothing follows the absence. You got to pay for your absence. Once you can pay for your absence, no problem. We don't get problem with that. Anytime you leave and then you went to go do something that will bring something to the teacher or the class, forget it. You are free. You are free. That was no problem. But if you go tell yourself from class, you go, you come back, nothing behind, forget it. The way will manners for you. It will not be for fun. We're not joking with you because we're not here for people to be absent from class for nothing. You must be absent from class for something. Even Morris telling me, say to your life, he said, don't be a reject. I beg you, man. Reject would not think eh? But the thing I'm telling you here, you can compare me with Richard Kun, but one of the thing I'm talking here. So, you know why it takes when you bring something after your absence and something. I will even carry the lesson to you and give it to you free. Once you can give something, I will carry the lesson and give it to you free. I will devote my time to go and pray for you or go visit you. Let me say hats off to all of you wherever you are. We are grateful to the Almighty God. Today is Friday. So, like I said, that's why it is. And today, we are very grateful to the Almighty God that we are here together to do what we can for our country. And so I think for sure we are certainly getting there. Yeah, you know, a country as a country. We don't want to do about whatever it is. It may have verse. Who find something to do and get absent. If you get anything doing, you can't class every time. Because if you get anything doing, you can't to class every time. But if you get something doing, you can go. Once you coming back, it's something, but just follow the something you're doing. Forget it, you safe. You will always find your mark. Attendance is not an issue. Even Tesla, you want me to get you in for me to, I will clear you and all. Don't worry. Check can't correct at all. All right, so the corrupt teacher day, right? And I had the teacher they give you corrupt, no problem. Folks, as everything with you, we're doing so great, and we are here tonight. So a lot of things are happening in country, and where we are grateful to the Almighty God for everything that He continues to do for us, and I will always be there. And with God, all things are possible. And Salute Janmina is telling me that over 20 young people are monitoring, okay. So all right, and Miss Dan from the AME Zion University is contesting for the presidency. Yeah, they call her First Lady Victory Team, and she's contesting. I'm supporting her 100%. Yeah, Olivia Dan. She's contesting for the presidency of the AME Zion University, and I think I gave her my full support in that. Very exuberant and, of course, hardworking lady. I appreciate her for that. She's very much clear, and I. He want moreover, he want get it. He said, I want to be every day. I have business. But be here. You know, be here, you will see what will happen to you. They tell you, say, we have for that thing there. You bring something, I beg you. Me, I've been giving you the code. I've been giving all you the code. We are certainly getting there with God. All things are possible. So play star 799 star 25 hash and then get 25k. 25 for 25. 25 hash. You play with that and certainly. Yeah, so you get 25k for playing the cash giveaway, the Friday jackpot. That's what it is. You'll be able to get. So a lot of things are happening in country. A lot of things are happening in country, and with God, all things are possible. God will guide us all. Young guys. This is Class B and featuring Takunje, right? So this is a song that they made. This song that was produced by them. Let me see whether I can give you a gist of it. And the latest song by them. And yeah, a fantastic song. So let me come play small so that we want to call. But guess what? Stop right here. Guess what? Tonight, just briefly, and after I talk something about the policing and so forth, because the police about to continue again, the BEPS, they beat Lace. So it's basically all the security center are flocking people there. They flock Lace immigration officer today. They flock EPS officer. They're now going for the DEA people to flog them too. So flocking they will be doing. All the security officers will be visited and flocked. That's what the police people doing now. So the idea is something is just not right somewhere, but we'll get there. And that is very important. They should be able to know their mode of operation and what it is. This is not moral decency, especially this is what we're talking about. But let me give you the gist of this, which is very, 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 very sweet. Let's listen. Yo. Let me try to start it fresh and ready. Fresh and ready. We look for it. They look for it. That you play that. As soon as Bassa mix with English, now come on, you. Yeah, we look for it, then we get it to get money. Set and now it's taking. They left, you see, they're not good for you to rush it. See, you know that we had the freedom, get the freedom back to they seen us. Now they're suffering us. They're hunting from house to house with that illegal speaker. I know that Judas people marketeer complaining because the business not running fast. Motorcyclists dying all day from police brutality. The country on tension. That's something that we need to mention. People now regretting because they're not what they expecting. We look for it, and all of us go for it. We look for it. know they look for it, and we look for it, and they look for it, and that's why it is. Fantastic song, and that's why it is. And we are setting it, getting there, and with God, all things are possible. So today, a lot of things happened, and subsequently, I will be speaking with Councillor Actor Johnson. Remember the judge of criminal court and in person of Roosevelt Willie did come down with a ruling on a motion filed by the defense team of Samuel Toy and others in the ongoing economic sabotage and other crimes attached case against them, and that brought us on national security matter. And the defense team of Toy had filed a motion for dismissal on grounds that the matter brought us on national security, and since the parties involved are immune to testifying before court as to what they did with their involvement with national security issues, and it was not something that was justiciable, right? So the judge was able to deny that motion, and citing some constitutional reasons. And we saw the legal team of Samuel Toy and others seeing it as a contradiction on the part of the judge, owing to the fact that once they raised constitutional issue, and the judge lacked jurisdiction over it at that point. But again, initially the judge had even granted a request by the Justice Ministry and to subpoena banking records. Could you imagine that as well? And he had to grant that, and they had to file another motion to rescind the judge's decision, and granting the Ministry of Justice all of that. So I've been checking around, and I hope to get to Councillor Actor Johnson, because I did listen to him immediately after the ruling today. The journalist swamped him, and he was able to give his initial reaction to the judge's rulings and what next step they would take. So I will be linking up with him. I'm still trying his numbers, and if I can, I will be able to link up with him, because I want to get proper clarity on it and on what happened today. So I will be able to get to him. But before that, let me just inform you that the Ministry of Justice has granted, the Ministry of Justice, Republic of Liberia, has granted the Supreme Motorcycle Transport Union of Liberia, SUMTU, and the permission, and so that they can have their peaceful motorcyclist march on the 5th of March 2025. And that 5th of March 2025 peaceful march, which is granted by the Justice Ministry already, is going to be on the 5th of March 2025. Is going to be on Wednesday. All right, on Wednesday, and next Wednesday. So it's going to be on Wednesday. That's when they're going to have that march. So that is here already, and they've been forwarded to the, and they've been forwarded to, they've been referred to the Liberia National Police to coordinate with them, so that they can give them the appropriate medium through which they can get that done. That is the communication. Today is the 28th. Yesterday, the communication reached out to them. George G. Williams Sr., Vice President for Radar Welfare, Supreme Motorcycle Transport Union of Liberia, SUMTU. And it says, "Dear Mr. Williams, we present our compliments and hereby acknowledge receipt of your letter dated February 26, 2025, in which you informed the Ministry of Justice about your desire to engage in peaceful march on 5th of March 2025 to present your petition. The Ministry of Justice is pleased to inform you that your communication has been forwarded to the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police, Colonel Gregory O.W. Comer, for consideration, and accordingly kindly liaise with the police to ensure that the appropriate modalities are worked out to facilitate your planned march." So they permitted to do that, and that's why it is. So it's a thanks for your kind consideration, kind regards, Councillor Charles D.F. Camo, and the second Deputy Minister for Justice for Economic Affairs and Acting Minister of Justice and Attorney General, Republic of Liberia. So that is why it is so far. And I saw the guys, they've been forwarded to that, and we think for sure we are watching to see what will happen in the coming days as they are there, and before the day of the protest or so forth, because the negotiations will have to go on. Then we'll be able to hear from the team as to how it is going. So effective Monday, we'll get words from these guys to know how they're going about it, how peaceful it's going to be, how cordial it's going to be, and what it had been like so far with the arrangement as per the Justice Ministry mandate that they had with, or they started having already, and with the Liberia National Police. All right, so we will be able to get onto all of that as well. And we think with God, all things are possible, and we are certainly getting there. The next thing I would like to inform you about here is that the coalition, the Congress for Democratic Change, decided to institute something and they're about to launch. It's not just membership draft, we call that the due payment draft. It's to emulate the good examples of Western politics, which of course you will see that there are people who come, sometimes people come to us and say, oh yeah, I'm a card bearer. Though you have exerted all of your effort, you made sacrifices and so forth, some of the resources you generate on your own or so forth, it's not just enough to that, but I think it's going to be in a more coordinated and organized manner in which you can now count on the party for support where there to be any needed, and they are all visible all over the place. So the CDC, in a structural manner, they have started a campaign, and from now up to 2028, 2029. Seeing my hand here is the blue book and of the CDC. So they are trying to raise it's membership dues that you have to pay in this book here. So 2025, 2028, and it's going on to 2029, right? So this book, you go for it, you get it. This book is numbered, is number 276. This is just a sample book I have here, and 276. There is a sample book. Now, what is going to be happening is that I have before me here categories of people who are going to be paid. They're going to launch that, and we'll call the party leadership here, and so that they can speak to it as well. So they talk about it. They said the National Executive Committee members will be paying $100 or 8 equivalents per month. $100 or 8 equivalent per month. CDC Legislative Caucus, the Liberian Senate, the people who are there, the senators of the CDC, they will be paying $500 United States dollars per month or is equivalent. Then they talk about the CDC Legislative Caucus for the House of Representatives. They are going to be paying $300 United States dollars or is LD equivalent per month. Then we'll have former ministers and heads of agencies, people who benefited from the CDC and they think they need to give back or they still have faith within the CDC, right? Former ministers and heads of agencies. Now, so when you have this, and it cuts across. The reason they never just put it there as membership due book or whatever it is, because anybody who may not even be member but an affiliate of the CDC but believe in the CDC, you can get this and then you do your payment. It's going to be left with you. And all these information are going to be confidential and kept in a database. So whatever is reflected in your book, it is there. Any argument can be here and there, blah, blah, blah. They will just go there, they draw down the whole thing, they see that you have paid or you are somebody who been paid. But it's going to be kept because not everybody who part of the CDC and are members. There are people who are private business people or whatever it is, but they just believe in the ideology of the CDC. They believe in we are or so forth. They will get this and then they just try to do that as their own mark on show of support. Like they happen in the United States of America, you know, and we think for sure. But it's going to be more organized now. It's not like before where they go around run dollar rally. Like the last time it happened, where you run dollar rally, people just can't give money, no coordination. You just put your money there, no record to keep or whatever it is. If you have your dues book, it's very much important. So the former deputy ministers and heads of and deputy heads of agencies, they will pay $100 United States dollars. Then we talk about former deputy ministers. Okay, I'll just talk about that. They pay $100. Former assistant ministers and directors. Mama C Kaba, Mama C Kaba, and they will pay $30 US. Right? $30 US is Mama C Kaba, Armin Wisa, and the rest of the other people. Yeah, and they will pay $30 US. There is a more organized one now. Nobody going to be doing dollar rally. They launch it, but of course it's going to be more organized now. You're not going to be staying like you put money, no name, no blame. People grab it, they eat it, tell them to get account, no way. This one you're going to make sure, and this is where your voice is, and it's very important. And some of us will advocate that you get a benefit of it because you know us already. You know us already. We don't joke. People like us, we don't joke. Nobody eat anybody money and just go with it like that. No, it doesn't work like that. We don't do it that way. So they talk about the county executive committee members. All the county executive committee members, they're going to pay $20 United States dollars. Then the National Women and Youth League and executives, they're paying $10. The National Women and Youth League executives, the Women and Youth League executives, they're going to pay $10 every month. Then the the senior party stars, they say they are senior partisan or whatever it is, they're paying $20. County executive committee members, all the county executive committee members, they are paying $20. Then we talk about district executive committee members. District executive committee members, all the people in the districts who are executive committee members, they are going to be paying $5. You know, the point in the United States, they know about this kind of system. The point in the United States, they know when you're a Democrat, you pay member. And that's what it is. You have a card. You are a card bearer. You're not just going to be just partisan by member. You get your card that you bear. So the people at that level, the district executive committee members, they're paying $5. Then the National Auxiliary Network, all these small auxiliary, what you say, I'm part of the CDC Auxiliary Network, blah, blah, blah. All the executives there, they are paying $10 or $3 or SLD equivalent, $10. Then the National Auxiliary Chairpersons and leadership, right? And they're going to be paying $3. The National Auxiliary Chairpersons and leadership, they're going to be paying $3 US or SLD equivalent. Then the zonal executive members, all the zonal executive members, right? They're going to pay $3 or SLD equivalent. Then talk about general grassroots members, people like us. We are CC then. The grassroots people, then what they call it is people in their category, because I'm not a member of the CDC. Yeah, I'm telling you that. But at what level then what they call it is. Yeah. And that's what it is. So they're going to pay $1. They're going to pay $1. People, man, CC then, the man then, man voted then, of course, yeah, you're going to be paying all of that. You're going to be paying $1 every month. So that $12, each one of you will pay for a year. So if you get somebody to bless you with $12, you go and fill in your own phone. You tell them say, I don't pay for the year. So they give you $24, you tell them say, I don't pay for 2 years. So your own thing that is there. That the flow member then there, that what we can call that they didn't want the grassroots members, the flow members. They call them the grassroots member. That $1 they will be taken from you. So that $12 you will pay for a whole year. So somebody use your child bless you, or you yourself you bless somehow. If you get $24, you go there, you fill your phone, you just rest yourself. Then you get in the bag now, you start talking your thing there. That's how it's going to work, right? So that the grassroots people there. Then we'll talk about CDC USA, the people in the United States of America, the CDC USA Europe Diaspora Executive Committee members. You're going to pay $50 or HLD equivalent, right? So the people CDC USA or so forth, you're going to pay $80. Let me say, sorry, $50 or is. Then we'll talk about CDC USA Europe Diaspora regular members. The same way they get here, they get their own grassroots group there too. So the regular members who are from CDC USA Europe Diaspora, regular member, anybody in the diaspora, Nigeria or whatever it is, blah, blah, blah. Very good. So you will pay $20. So the regular member there in America or so forth, you pay $20, but you need to get your card. It's very important. That's your voice. That's your voice. I'm a card-bearing member. When you're ready to talk, in fact, the thing that coming in now is just about transformation. So people like us, and if I want to contribute like the way I love We Are Business, so I'm not going to be a member of the CDC, right? So we are the grassroots level and let We Are Business. I can pay my $1 every what they call, and I will be doing that. I will just go and pay my $1. Yeah, Nancy Jordan, I pay my $1 every. Me and the woman then will pay our something there. Every what they call that. We don't want in something there, so we'll be 3 hours. So they play import. They say put your mob where your money is. So people like, oh, we pay our $1, our mob will stop to the $1 level. And now I can operate. That's what we'll be doing now. Yeah. So that's what we are saying. They didn't say what about it is, but you are contributing to CDC. That's why it's like this, right? So that anybody else who believe in George Weah or whatever it is, there is a cap. They'll come up to tell you what it is. They get a bank account numbers here that you can send your money to, send wave or whatever it is. All the numbers are here. Yeah, so the merchant code is also there. You can see it here. And your mobile money, something, just keep your message and so forth. Saint Livingstone Unbreakable Stone is telling us that he's a Republican due paying member. Yeah, that's why it is. So that's what we'll do. Thank you so much, my brother. That's what happens. CDC has learned its lessons. It's about organization and structure. And that's why it's going to be. And Yeah, thing what they call there. Now, even then will be what they call it, but it's very good that everyone else can get it. And I and I'm not part of the CDC Legal Defense Force. Oh. No, I'm not part of the CDC Legal Defense Force. We'll certainly get there. With God, all things are possible. Please play your stuff, and we are certainly getting there, and we'll get there. Right. So the judge ruling today. Let me call them, and let me see. Yeah, I think I'll be able to call them. Councillor Arthur W. Johnson. Yeah, Arthur Johnson, and the doctor. And on today's ruling, he says something about it, and I just want to get it, so I think for sure it's very much good. People, and the only good thing about it I can assure you is they have said this information is going to be confidential, because if possible, some of you working in government and you are with the CDC, and you don't want for your need to be ordered that you pay, because the government, they don't even look at people to be what they call, they don't sound people. They will not see it like you are obligated and you belong to an institution. So people will be saying, oh, they may have saying I ain't paying due here and there. That one is level you. Yourself go make your disclosure to your workplace and say I'm paying due. That one is up to you. It's up to you. But it's going to be classified. But the records are going to speak to it. It's going to be classified. The day your own day can you want to verify your own thing, only your name will appear to you. No other person name you will see. You will see your records there. It's clear. Your name is there. Your record is there. Clear. It's going to be classified. So anyone else who wants to contribute, you can go and contribute. That's why they're not doing that, right? When you will go there and show your face, then they take pictures. They say, oh, people then went to the data rally. You saw them here. This, that. They don't want anybody, because the government is too ruthless. The moment you show your face there, they will grab you and say, oh, that they man and pay money down there. No. That's it. There are people who love the CDC and they are in professional areas as well. And they want to contribute because they believe. That's what it is. So, it's very much good. And it's a good idea. And I will encourage for them to even call jingles and so forth for the purpose, of this, because it's going to be classified. Yeah, when I mean classified, it's going to be kept. Say you yourself you want to go. Nobody. There's not going to be disclosure of anybody's name for whatever, except you want it that way. So it's very important that you get it right. Yeah. So we are certainly getting there. With God, all things are possible. But let me take this break with this fantastic video here. Hey God, while I miss our own. Yeah. Let me take this break with this fantastic video as I'm looking for Councillor Arthur Johnson's number so that I can get to him. I'll get to something about the police, what they fail to understand, so that I will know how they are operating. The thing you miss out on. They play Joseph Boga want to go inspect in recent time. How it all started. Let us have this video as a brief break for you. Keep playing your stuff for your 25K tonight. And I think for sure we are certainly getting there. CDC is going to be organized now. And I'm seeing it. Because with this one now, you can know straight that they're heading for real. And then it's a kind of organization that will transition into government. Because if people are responsible citizens and they can be like that, they can now say, look, we are responsible people and so forth. So it not like Bruno did where they say primary, then John Brown, yeah, John from maybe somewhere he not even pay due, nothing. The primary committee just grab money from here and tell you say that you come and represent the people in the district, or that you come in to represent the people at the county level. What kind of nonsense that? It's not going to work. It's going to be reflected in the voice of the people. You know why? Because they are due pay members. And they're the one going to be speaking. They're going to be telling you. And that is why it is. They are going to be there to say, look, this is the kind of person we want to see represent us here. So God brought this election result for transformation purpose, and it's now taking place. Let's take this and see your former president. This is real president. Now let Pape and Baby play we on. They said, what about it is this is real president greeted by real people, real time people. Yeah, this is real president greeted by real time people. Hey, this is the man. This is the man. That's the spirit. Yo. Takum J.
Yeah, they say seeing is believing, but what I see in the beginning success. Judge man, we are the prophet. Respecting all of the project, giving up us the concept. Not loud, because you made me to know you open the door for even the one that I couldn't afford.
Oh, popping from grass to grace. I like the way how you were made. Everything you do, you so amazing.
We believe in all the things that you went through. All the struggles that you've been through, with the ups and downs, trouble in grand crew, you still doing things that other people thought you can't do.
He did it for I, when no one could believe. From football to the Sunday, was like a miracle thing. You always had to believe that you were gonna be somebody. Oh, Papa, you get everything you do is so much amazing. From pole to pole, look at the way you go, yeah.
All my love to my brother I will give. More grace, so we turn a new page. I feel my brother when he wearing new shades. He turning the whole country into a good place.
We believe in your spirit. Oh, we believe in your leadership. We don't buy that pigment, jolly pie forced to waste. Development giant, the whole country giant. Home shots in the air.
Daddy, I love the way you do your move. You are so incredible. I love the way you do your job. That's why you're the chosen one.
Yes, we must. We believe in you, the things to do.
Your spirit is so strong. We love you. God bless you.
Yeah, put your letters in the air for the president. Let's celebrate his excellence, yeah. Celebrate your greatness, yeah. God bless you, you're doing good. You're doing good. Yeah.
You still for love, still for peace, still for joy. You stand for togetherness. Hey, that's why you give us so much happiness.
When who get great and when who get lost, everywhere when who go, you can feel it not. So why the drum, why the samba, you bring the conga, turn it up, making noise for the beat.
For the lights on the road, the market and the hospital, and all the developments. We believe your spirit.
Check it. From the north, south, east to the west, your galactose. From the center to the village, the celebration is show because you get life. You're making the people to feel that right. It's development. You're stronger than all the other presidents. You touchdown in the 50 country for record. The mission and the vision is to develop the nation. He's the country giant. The black lion come for science. So, boom, baby. That's why it is.
For the love is development. Bless you. Everybody give a flower. Everybody give a flower. Why is still alive? Yeah. Everybody give a flower. Everybody give a flower. Why is still alive?
Don't I pray for the son of the son? Yeah. Why with your wings? The Lord let the blessing keep on flowing on me. I thought you but my hand and still making history. Yeah. When you see it, salute.
You know, I was saying anything that puts on the field, you do that for that win for us.
Build up the resident. Your content top brought light to the people from Foya District. Coming down straight to people, country giant, the lion for Zion, put every thank you for my president. Thank you. On the western yard, you know what's in our town.
We have to do with bill issue, the government will not have then the bill there, and of course, clients are all bill, they are on bill already. We are here with nations tonight. Where do we look? What is have you on here to face the issues?
We believe in your leadership. We believe that we will see the light. We will see the light.
It's time for us to reflect as a nation. And I'm happy to be on your show tonight. So give one or two introspections, specifically views and insights regarding the the particular case that is presently before the court. You know, unfortunately, most of our people don't understand the legal system, specifically the criminal justice system, in terms of how it works.
Okay.
So on that basis, there are a lot of misunderstanding, misconception, misinterpretation. And the unfortunate thing is that sometimes these complex legal issues and procedures are most of the time attempted to be addressed and explained by non-lawyers. And so unfortunately, you see misinterpretation and misconception about the law. And today example is something that we need to bring to the attention. That's why we see it as an opportunity to make sure that specifically for this kind of platform you have, that have a broad spectrum of listeners and hitting every corner of the Liberian society who listen to this must be educated to know how the system is and what is the nature of the case, what is the standard of the case, what is the stage of the case or the phase of the case in the trial proceeding in our court system of the country. So I'm happy to be on this show.
Great, thank you. Though initially you were saying that normally people don't understand the criminal justice system or the legal profession, and non-lawyers are there and trying to interpret the law. But on the basis of the fact that a judge were to deny a motion, and these people are simply just saying that yes, a motion has been denied. That's the issue of facts. It's because the judge did do that, and that's what they are saying. But so what it means is what they may not delve into, but just deny. So just tell us what happened today.
Thank you, Ebe. Today, what happened is specifically in the criminal procedure at the level of the court, we call this pre-trial motion stages.
Yeah.
Or maybe let's say pre-trial motion stage. And then somebody will ask, what do you mean by that? There are instances when a person is accused of a criminal offense. It's a process. Sometimes the investigation starts with the police. In the nature of this case, it starts with the LACC. LACC conducts an investigation and writes a report, uses the Ministry of Justice, most of the instances, and proceed to the court. The rate of arrest, and then they can go and arrest the person. That was the case with the former officials of the government that served in the government of His Excellency George Manawe, the former president. And so then the magistrate will issue the raid, arrest them. The law says that they have right to a bill with the exception of a capital offense. Capital offense means crimes like murder that you commit or treason where there is no bill. But in cases of this nature, they are bailable offenses.
Okay.
In fact, in most instances, the judges under the law are obligated based on the status of the person's status in society will give them the opportunity to call it personal recognizance. They say, look, my man, go home. Anytime the case starts, you come back.
Okay.
But that was not the case. You have a situation where people try to use the judicial system to politicize it and take decisions. And it requires men of substance, men who stand for their uniqueness, to stand and be bold and interpret the law on the basis of that. So we're in a serious time. There are instances political actors will want to influence court's decision. And so it requires people in the justice system who will be very strong. So that will happen maybe sometimes you see that like for the former officials, they had an arrested, boom. Lawyers were there telling them, look, these are former officials, they're not running away. This is not part of court that has trial jurisdiction. Let their lawyers sign for them. Anytime you're ready, you come back. But that was not the case. Boom, they had the police pick up, but and took them. This is not politics that I'm talking about. This is about the law. Then again, you have them, they went for indictment. They had them indicted. Why to court? People say they shouldn't have bill. When the law says that they are bailable offenses. So we had a stage in that process where they pleaded to the indictment. Pleading to the indictment means the indictment is a formal allegation that comes from the grand jury. The grand jury are people from the community, our common people, they people who go to the court
to listen to the facts of the case presented by the prosecution that say, look, we have a case against the person, we want the person to go to trial. Based on the evidence that they present to them, then the people say, okay, but then we need to call them, let them come and answer to the charges. That is what we call the return of the true bill, we call indictment. That was the situation. It does not mean that the person has committed the offense on our due process of law clause. And so when it happens that way, then they say, let the man go to trial and prove his innocence or have the opportunity to be heard. So they come to court and then they read the indictment to them, like it happened. While the defendants were asked, they read the indictment, they asked them, they said, all of these charges, how do you plead? He said, not guilty or no. At that stage, we call it arraignment. Not arrangement. Some people who don't know who are not lawyers, they will say, oh, they arrange. No, not arrange, but it's arraignment. A-R-R-A-I-G-N-M-E-N-T. It's a legal terminology. That's the stage where the man is asked, how do you plead based on the allegations? Are you guilty or not guilty? He said, no, I'm not guilty. Then the lawyers go there and they say, okay, then there is an issue. The man is challenging the evidence. The man is challenging the state. Let there be a trial. The trial begins. The trial is about to start. There is something at that stage we call the pre-trial motion stage. The trial has not started. Now, you can ask the judge to say, look, dismiss this case, Your Honor. You don't have jurisdiction to hear this kind of case. That was the situation in the Samuel 12 and the Jefferson Camus, Honorable Stanley Ford, Councilor Honorable Natty Twan's case in Cooper. Right of the lawyer or the defendant at that time to say, look, Your Honor, dismiss this case. You don't have jurisdiction. In other words, you can't hear this case because the nature of this case does not fall under your jurisdiction. That was what happened yesterday and today. Unfortunately, I was not here for the argument, although I played a role in the drafting of the motion. You know, I was in the Hague representing the 2 new clients that had been assigned to me by the RCC. And so I have to take advantage of that. So this argument has been heard. But we have filed previous motions. So we call them pre-trial motions. The other one is requesting the court. Say, look, government says they have evidence against our client. Let them turn over all the evidence that they say they have to us, so we can know and prepare ourselves for our defense. That is another pre-trial motion we call the motion for discovery. So when you make those kind of preliminary requests, and then the judge denies them, and then people dangerously politicize and exclusively contradict the interpretation of that particular decision, calling it to be like a verdict, is unfortunate. It becomes an insignificant tempting. You understand that? So today, the judge ruled on the motion to dismiss the indictment that we filed. What was in that particular motion? The first thing we told the judge is, Your Honor, the courts of our country have no authority to question the actions of a president, whether formal or sitting, for any act or acts that he or she carry out during the course of their official duty. And then we told the judge, the law that gives that authority to the president of a nation, that whatever he did while serving as president, he's immune, meaning he's protected from any judicial proceeding. No court of law has the authority to make an inquiry. No criminal investigative agency that the LSC has that authority to question them. Even the just authority to do so. So we are bringing that to your attention, Your Honor, that these institutions, even this court, has no authority to have a hearing in such a matter. And then we said the law that provides for that is Article 50 of the Constitution and Article 61. Article 50 of the Constitution says that the president shall be the head of state, the head of government, and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia. When they say the armed forces of Liberia, it's not only the AFL. It means all security actors, all security institutions that fall under the national security architecture performed at the will and pleasure of the president. And so there is an architecture that has been designed, we call the National Security Council. The National Security Council is the highest national security decision body
that makes decisions and policies, that promulgate decisions and policies in the interest of protecting this country when we are asleep.
Mm.
And that is what we call the National Security Council. The members of that council include the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Finance, the Director of the NSA, the Director of Police, and most of these financial intelligence agencies are the members of the council. And then the secretary to that council is the National Security Advisor to the President. The case of Jefferson Camo. Now, the next thing was, the reason we say you can proceed is that Article 61 of the Constitution says, when the president performs an action while serving as president, you cannot question it because you have not impeached a president, you have not removed that president, so you cannot subject, so you cannot question him.
Mm-hmm.
And then that authority, that protection that the president enjoys, it extends to his advisors. Any of his advisors during his authority who were performing a particular function under the scope of the authority of the president, those advisors and agents, like for the ministers in question, no agency or court will have the authority to question them for those decisions they take. More besides, there is a law that was passed, and we call it the National Security Reform and Intelligence Act of 2011. It establishes the national security architecture and says that members of the National Security Council are immune, are protected, and they can never be subjected to any questioning when it comes to making spending for the protection and the security of this country. They don't necessarily have to go through regular budgetary allocation processes in order to get that money available to give and protect and support the national security community to obstruct the national security threats that threaten the safety of the country. In 2022 and 2022 and 2023, the government of Liberia observed, based on the briefing from the national security community, that there will be threats to the national security interests of this country during the election period. And there are attempts that will be causing chaos. And on that basis, the Security Council decided that there must be expenditure to give to the security community in order to be on the alert to direct, to obstruct, and to take countermeasures.
Hello?
To the elections of Liberia,
Mm-hmm.
and to the national security safety of the country. On that basis, money was expended from the level of the National Security Council, authorized for it to be expended to keep the now, people don't understand the basis upon which Liberia enjoyed a peaceful transition from the change of one democracy to where there were no chaos. They didn't understand that, but there were issues of national security concern that this country, that the public should not be aware of because they were clandestine and confidential. It is on the basis of their expenditure that the present regime has decided to prosecute these officials of government for this money and are asking these officials to come to court, to come to testify who are those agents that received money, how they expended the money, and the money was not used for the proper purpose. That is a violation of the National Security Act. That these officials cannot go to court to testify. Now, this is the dilemma for the former officials of government. Our due process clause under the Constitution, Article 28 says, no person shall be convicted or deprived or denied of any basic rights, fundamental rights, without being accorded the opportunity to be heard. In other words, to prosecute officials of government while what they think intend to do,
Mm-hmm.
these officials must have their day in court to produce evidence to testify and exonerate themselves. You getting my point?
Yeah.
But the National Security Council Act, for which these officials took oath, and anything that happens at that level remains a secret. They will never say it for more than 20 years until that information is declassified formally by the government. They cannot speak on it. Now, the bully trap is, assuming that the officials that we're representing go to court to testify about how the money was spent, who received what, you exposing state secrets. And on that basis, if they do that, they have breached the National Security Council oath. So even if upon their testimony getting order, the NSA can even arrest them for exposing national security secrecy. So you see the dilemma our clients have. So it is on this basis we're telling the judge that the law says that you cannot question the kind of officials in court to come to testify because national security operations are immune. They are protected. They are not justiciable. Meaning, they are not issues that court of law must conduct a public trial for people to discuss the secret operations of the government at the time. Because those operations have never been declassified. And so we raised these issues in the argument, and the judge ruling was that I said that the defendants, the official must be aware that even though you are immune, but any act you commit there, you will be responsible. So they are not to be reckless, but the assumption of that statement by the judge, it questions the neutrality of the judge.
Does it mean that the judge is insinuating that the people were reckless?
They were reckless. So you have already cast opinion. And that questions the neutrality of the court. And which, of course, the courts are not allowed to do that. The next thing is, the judge proceeded to interpret. The judge proceeded to interpret Article 50, Article 61 of the Constitution that we raised, and pass on the constitutional argument that we raised. Again, the lower court does not have that jurisdiction or that authority to make an interpretation on constitutional issues. It is the Supreme Court that has the authority to pass on squarely constitutional issues that are raised. So the question now is, why are we arguing? We are arguing on certain basic principles. The principle of immunity of national security operations, the protection of sensitive national security information doctrine, presidential authorization, classified operations immunity, national security exemption from economic crimes. These are fundamental constitutional law that there have been laws passed by them on by courts of law, for which courts of law are prohibited from conducting such trials on the kind of national security issues. So national security issues don't go to court, in other words. Maybe. Then we look at the issue of non-justiciability of national security decisions. In other words, when national security decisions are taken in the interest and the protection of the state, no court of law has the authority to question those officials of government. The authority and the immunity of the scope of the authority of the president extends to the president's advisors. The authority of immunity or the scope of immunity that protects the president, that scope of immunity extends to the president's advisors and his agents. And so those advisors, when they are performing functions in the scope of authority of the presidency, in this case, the National Security Council, where the president of Liberia is the chairman, no court of law has the authority to question that decision. Then we talk about the doctrine of the protection of covert operations. The reason sometimes we can say NSA people are not to be known or cannot go to court is because they are not authorized to be known. When you know them, then you will be exposing national security agents and their operations, which will jeopardize the national security operations of the country and also will be exposing the weaknesses of the government. For example, AB, suppose you put such a person on the witness and say, testify why you did X, Y, Z, this money or that. Then he starts to tell you, I'm just being hypothetical. That's not a fact now.
Yeah.
This is being hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing, look, the money we get, we use it when we go to the other agency, the agency will use it to go and spy on the other country or to spy on the other era. In fact, this is why we did when anything was happening. You will be exposing the positions of the agencies, specific positions that they are now, that even if they are known, their life will be in danger. That is why the wisdom of the framers of the law said national security operations cannot be exposed in court or in public trial. If you're not satisfied with the operation, you conduct an audit. That's the law. That is the law. The law did not say you subject it to criminal prosecution or send a man to court. That is the law. So there are basic principles. So we look at the perspective of the national security immunity under the National Security Reform and Intelligence Act. That's the first ground. Why we say that the case cannot be tried by court. And that is the law. Whether or not anybody elected, you can try this case. Just look for different case. This is not the case. The second one is the executive privilege under the Constitution of Liberia. The privilege of the presidency. You cannot. Once the president, the only time the president of a nation like Liberia can be subject to trial and criminal prosecution is when you impeach the president and you remove him from office. Not only to impeach, but you impeach him and you remove him from office, then you can subject the president to criminal prosecution. And then subsequently his agents. But when that was not done until the president left office, you cannot question him. Our Supreme Court over and again had expressed this in fact, the Judy Bryan's case. They say presidential protection and immunity is an absolute immunity. Nobody can question the president of the Basel on why and grounds of decisions that they took and why they took those decisions and what basis they took those decisions. You cannot question that. So there are so many concepts and constitutional principles and doctrines that guide the argument. This argument is not just a sentimental argument. It is a highly intellectual, academic, theoretical, philosophical, and constitutional argument. They're not just a layman can look at and interpret. Even a lawyer, before you raise yourself for this kind of argument, you have to read very well about the details and the complexity of constitutional law when it comes to presidential immunity and protection. So this is a landmark case. It's not a case that we intend that we're going to stop to the level of the court. So the ruling today on a single motion to dismiss is not a motion that say, oh, Samuel Twain and the other officials of government are convicted. No! The judge is saying, I will hear the case. That's what he's saying. We telling you, no, you can't hear the case. So we took an exception to his decision and announced to him that we will take advantage of the statute. When the lawyer tells you that, it means he's subjecting your action to the Supreme Court for a remedial process. So there are a lot of issues related. These are the concepts and the principles of law that we say. These are not just sentimental or political arguments. These are serious legal and constitutional debates, but let the principles and arguments that courts of law, even courts in other countries that we copy from, have talked upon and have said that yes, national security issues, security matters cannot be handled by courts of law. But there is something important that I want to bring to your attention.
Mm-hmm.
There is principle of presidential immunity from judicial inquiry. This principle of presidential immunity is that the Constitution grants the president and those acting under the president's authority immunity from judicial inquiry into actions taken in their official capacities. Presidential immunity from the judicial inquiry is a doctrine that shields the president from legal proceedings, investigations, or judicial scrutiny, particularly while in office. So this principle is grounded in the need to ensure that the president can perform effective executive functions without interference from the judiciary. While this immunity is recognized in many constitutional frameworks, including those in Liberia, even the United States, this court and the application are subject to by the Supreme Court. When a constitutional issue is raised of this nature, one of the best things that we know in our practice hold on with age is that the judge who is the judge of the lower court will refrain from making a determination on that issue because it is squarely constitutional. The Honorable the Supreme Court in numerous opinions and cases have said that when squarely constitutional issues are raised, the lower court has no jurisdiction, no court of law has jurisdiction to pass on those squarely constitutional issues. It is under the Supreme Court, not even an associate justice of the Supreme Court. It is under the Supreme Court embank, meaning the full bench of the Supreme Court, that can determine that particular. And what are those constitutional issues that we have raised? Let me outline them again. One, we raised Article 28 of the Constitution that the defendant's rights are denied if we go to trial because they cannot testify to defend themselves because the National Security Act of 2011 prohibits them from testifying on national security matters because they were members and they took oath. They will keep that secret with them for 20 years. Even after the 20 years, the government will declassify looking at the sensitivity or the sensitive nature of that particular information. That's one. That's the constitutional issue we raised. It was clearly raised, Article 20. Then we read Article 50 of the Constitution that talks about what? The powers of the president. They call powers. He has three functions into one. Students of constitutional law, they will know that the president has first the power as commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia. So he has the authority to promulgate national security decisions and policies and recommendations. The president has the function as being the head of state. He has the function as being the head of government. These three major functions are given to the president under Article 50 of the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. We are saying, based on these particular power, the power that they have given to the president has absolute power. And all his agents that function within that particular scope of absolute power or absolutism, they are protected under the absolute power doctrine. Then we started Article 61 of the Constitution that talks about immunity of the president while serving as president. That the president is immune from all prosecutions and proceedings, civil or criminal, for acts committed while serving as president. So his agents are protected. That's Article 61. And then we didn't stop there. We started the Judy Bryant's case, where the Supreme Court said Judy Bryant, the only reason Judy Bryant could not enjoy presidential absolute immunity is because he was not a constitutionally elected president. He was chairman of the government. But he then elected by the president, by the people, and become president of the Republic of Liberia, that absolute immunity remains untouched.
Okay.
That was the time when President Ellen Johnson said he took power, he decided to prosecute Judy Bryant. That was the Supreme Court's opinion. And one of the lawyers, the person who founded that opinion on behalf of the court, who have in fact helped us to represent the particular, serve as one of the lawyers in this case, is Justice Kabina Mohammed Janet. Okay. So when these kind of issues are raised, the judge should have stopped right there and send the case to the full bench of the Honorable the Supreme Court. As any lawyer who practices before the court, I am not saying lawyer, but I say lawyer who is practicing, actively practicing before the court, will tell you that when solely these issues are raised, yes, they go to the full bench of the Supreme Court. So these are just some of the things.
All right. All right, Councillor. Yeah, thank you so much for the insight. And I would just like to get a couple of clarities on issues. Yes, I'm looking at the act right here, the 2011 Act and the National Security and Defense Act. I'm seeing it right here. And I think you are speaking in specific reference to Section 3F of the Act that talks about trustees of state secrets, and where it is stated clearly that every member, personnel, or employee of the National Security Council shall be deemed a trustee of secrets of the Republic, and when entering upon the duties of the council shall be in case of members sworn by the chair, and in case of the personnel and employees by the secretary, and not to divulge any information which has come to his or her knowledge by reason of such membership or employment with the council, except as required in the course of duty. A violation of this oath shall subject the offender to fine of $100 United States dollars, and $100,000, right? $100,000 or upon, and or up to 10 years. Up to 10 years imprisonment.
Okay.
Or both. They say the oath shall be binding and enforceable on every member, personnel, or an employee of the council for a period of 20 years after severance of his or her relationship with the council. Now, we're talking about 3 years, less than 2 years, and I since these people left power. Now, some of the arguments that were raised by Councillor Fire, the Solicitor General, he says clearly that there are people whom they are even prosecuting as well who were not members of the council. I think with the exception of Toy, who served in his capacity, Minister of Finance and Development Planning, and you talk about Camo. They talk about others as well who were not members of the council. What were they doing there? That does not cover them. That is argument.
That's not true. The Financial Intelligence Agency, the head of it at the time, was seconded by the president. If you read the act further, the authority of the chairman of the National Security Council, he has the authority to appoint or nominate any official of government on the council. And when he nominates that particular official, that official is duty bound to take the secrecy oath. That was the case with the National Security Financial Intelligence Agency head, Honorable Stanley Ford.
Okay.
The controller of the Financial Intelligence Agency, when they say national security, they have the supporting groups. And the official functioning under the National Security Council in the implementation of the decisions of the council, based on the meetings they had, that official and that subordinate staff is covered by the secrecy oath. The Solicitor General is unfortunate, maybe, but I think he's intentionally doing it. But he's aware. The Solicitor General is aware that once you are a staff member and you are implementing a function or a directive that you have promulgated, even if you are not named as a member of the council, you are regarded as a member of that council, and all the rights and privileges and duties and responsibilities and accountability doctrines are applied to you too. There is no one over there who is not a member of the council. Samuel Twe, Minister of Finance at the time. The Minister of Finance is a member of the National Security Council, because when the National Security Council takes a decision, that decision must be supported by finance, and only the finance minister has the authority to authorize payment. So he's a member. The presidential advisor, national security advisor, is the secretary to the council. How will you say Jefferson Camo is not a member of the council? Then you have Councillor Honorable Unati Twan, former Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia, Minister of Justice, and at the same time, or simultaneously Solicitor General of the Republic. At the time, he was acting Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Republic. In the absence of the minister, by effect and meaning and function, he was a member and statutory member of the council. Then you have what we call the Kobo, who was the controller for national insurance. This is the controller that the Minister of Finance will go divide money, that the Minister of Finance will stand for money to give it, allocate it to the internet, to the Security Council.
Okay.
It is the controller. The Security Council authorizes, or we authorize, they say, look, this money must be paid, and controller make sure you do this X, Y, Z, and I say get this, and I say get that. But I tell you something, this is a booby trap they have set for our clients. Based on the eye, they know, but they are still proceeding to prosecute, and they know very well when it's time for the defendant to take the witness stand, these guys cannot take the witness stand, even though their fundamental rights under Article 20 says that they can protect themselves, they can go and testify. But the National Security Act says you can't testify on the matter, but then they prosecute you for that matter. This is the logic. This is the core of the argument.
Certainly. That's where we are getting.
So that court, the lay court, the trial lay court down there, the trial court, they cannot digest the interpretation that they can have complex legal matter that is constitutionally driven. Only the Supreme Court has the capacity to do this. That's what we expected the judge to have done.
And
See, he has not done that. See, he has not done that. We're going to the Supreme Court.
Okay. And on the
let me give you one instance. Today, immediately after the filing, after the ruling, I filed again on behalf of the team the motion to rescind order and ruling. Because the trial had not even started. The government of Liberia went to the judge. Even we have not even collected jurors. We have not even selected jurors. The government of Liberia went to the judge without our knowledge, called expertise, which is wrong. And asked the judge to order the judge to issue subpoena. In law, we call it the subpoena specificum and subpoena attesticandum. Let me explain that. The subpoena specificum is an order. It means it is an order from the court asking a particular person or individual or institution to produce certain documents that are important for the determination of the case before the court. Subpoena justisticum. Then they get subpoena attesticandum. It is an order from the court requesting a particular individual to come to testify to a particular issue before the court. So that when they issue a subpoena, they issue subpoena justisticum and attesticandum on the central bank, on the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, on the Financial Intelligence Agency to come and produce certain documents, intelligent documents on that national security spending to testify. Who to say even a present FIU or FIA, Financial Intelligence Agency, will never testify on national security intelligence once they have not been declassified. I challenge them. They can never come to court to testify. Then you expect the former officials of government to come to court and can testify on national security matters. And the point here is, when these guys, when they allow people to testify, it's possible they will just keep the undercover agent waiting for our clients or staff. Oh man, you honor a rep for testifying on national security intelligence. You honor a rep. That one is a quiet conviction because the man already disclosed national security explanation and secrecy on trial. The evidence there, nothing so much. They're bringing you to court straight, and you get convicted, you go to jail for 9 years. They're not going to have a 100,000 that Brent dollars. They will put in jail for 9 years. So it's a booby trap. And that is the dilemma the defendants have. And that's why the defendants are saying the court cannot hear this case because they are immune. But then a non-lawyer, somebody who acts to say that they understand everything, you know our Liberian society, comes out and says, oh, but the men when committed a crime, then they say we're not going to go the one high honor, we're not going to go the one high honor immunity because they were acting on the direction of the president. That is a myopic interpretation because most of those who say that they don't understand the law. And maybe one of the problems we have in this country is that people are so sentimental. They are carried away by whims and caprices and naked brute forces. To the extent that they don't, even the one that claim to be the intellectuals, they are now objective in understanding issues to address them based on expertise. So in this country, everyone is a lawyer. Everyone is an expert. Sometimes people discussing constitutional legal issues. A man who wakes up in the morning, he went and sat down maybe to one attire shop, he drank a tire all day. He woke up, he said, my man, I have an input on this constitutional issue. Can you imagine that? It's unfortunate. Then sometimes the moderator will allow a non-lawyer to contribute to the interpretation of a constitutional matter.
That's true. The moderator, you're right.
They say, yeah, So then, when that man gets up the line, he's telling you, colleague at the attendant, I mean, I'm there with the issue. What issue you there with? You there with ignorance. You there with ignorance.
And further to support the secrecy.
When you're not lawyer, you're not lawyer.
Sure.
Don't go there. The law was not made for non-lawyers to interpret. Only lawyers interpret the law. But see, people look at the Facebook today. Somebody who is not even a lawyer is interpreting the law. Instead of you calling an expert, what? You see what you do here? Though you are a lawyer, you are a practicing active lawyer, which are most of the time admire. You say, what's your view? Explain this. And just one that I don't know whether I've answered the question.
Yeah, Councillor, you answered that. But to just support it, to support your argument toward the secrecy of the NSA, and even honor the NSA at itself, exclusively the ones that have to do with the NSA when it comes to the issue of finances, they said the independence of the agency from government financial arrangements. And that's section 2. And of course, there was a repealing that was done where they said to preserve the National Security Agency from public disclosure of its operations. The agency is authorized to withdraw to the extent necessary for the maintenance of secrecy its yearly operation through the Ministry of Finance and deposits them into the agency's own checking account in a bank within the Republic of Liberia to be designated by the president as the legal depository. That tells you the kind of rights and everything else they gave to the president. And of course, the agency is just an ordinary.
Let me explain. I come from a national security background.
Okay.
As a former NBR director.
Certainly.
At the age of 32, 33, I've served as deputy director of administration of the National Bureau of Investigation. So I went through the ranks and files of that agency. Let me tell you, I come from an intelligence background, but let me tell you something. You remember there was a time people said the president had authorized the audit of the NSA boss?
Yeah.
That was just a joke. Even if the president authorized it, that the NSA boss must subject himself to intelligence to auditing, you will just, for the sake of the respect of the president, you just go and listen to the auditor. When the auditor asks him, he say, the money you expended, the record show, it went to the person. Who is this person? You tell him, say, it's classified, chief. He say, record it. Put it in your report, say, it's classified, like the answer NSA boss is. He will tell you like that, it's classified. The reason is, the act of the NSA gives the NSA director to never report to anybody besides only the president. Only the president, the NSA boss can report to. That was sometimes when I used to see, somehow NSA beginning, they show their badge, they show our NBR agent. Nobody knew our NBR man until I became appointed as NBR director. Our days. But you see this time NSA man, he get badge, he can show him. You know I come from Foxhole. What? Nobody's supposed to know you come from there. Eddie, I was NBR agent. My entire family never knew that I was agent of the NBR. They wouldn't knew I was going to school and I was teaching. Until finally the day I got appointed during the Bryan's regime as deputy NBR director and served for 3 years before I resigned and went back to school, continue with my education. The next thing is, you hear them telling, oh, more than 500,000 pay on the counter to to security agency 1 minute. You hear them say that?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, even the present regime is doing the same. It's not corruption. When you see one agency go to central bank, maybe the controller for NSA or the controller for a security intelligence agency, and you carry one check again 300,000, 500,000, they're not stealing money. They're not corruption. The reason they do that is these agents of these secret institutions, you can open account for them and then you pay them in their respective accounts in various banks. So when we were at the NBR, we sent the controller go to NBR and to central bank. He spends the whole day, he carried the car, he carried the bag. They follow the bag of money in the car. He will bring that money to the NBR headquarters, and we ourselves pay our agents and they sign for their money because nobody is supposed to know them that they are agents of the NBR. That is how security agencies work. So when you go see NBR agent and controller to the central bank, I'm being hypothetical.
Yeah.
Because NBR have been dissolved by Madam Salim. When you see go to central bank, the whole day they check the money, take bag of money. They're not stealing money. As I speak to you, no. This present regime is doing the same. And that's not stealing. It's protection of the national security interest and the agents of these institutions. They are not to be known. When you know them, when you know how the money is spent, then you know the secrets of the government and the strategic operations of the government of the state as a government. And then you'll be exposing the weaknesses of the government. We shouldn't be advocating for this. I thought it is the present regime that's going to be doing that. We're not in government, but we're protecting the state secret. Then the government said, no, let's expose the state secret in court. It's unfortunate. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, well, yeah, people are saying, oh, the NSA, yeah, order them. There are certain things that the president will want to do. He can use the regular monetary regulatory processes to do them to protect the country.
Okay.
Nobody will fool you. You can. It does not necessary budgetary process or allocation. When they say national security, because there are so many things, so the power they gave the president, the Constitution gave the president enormous power.
You're right. You're right.
National security will call. Yeah, there's a national security will say the president does not sleep. You know why we say here? The people that keep their country safe, they're not the army. They're the intelligence agency. When everybody is sleeping, they are awake. When somebody fast to the border of Liberia, they're the one able to tell the president, say, somebody fast to the border last night. This is how the fast smells. That the NSA, that the intelligence agency, that the so that was one of the time when I saw that to apprehend, I said, but the NSA director will not even subject himself to audit. He won't do it. Because the person the man going, that way you see when you in politics, when you press it, you campaigning, you can say all kind of things. But when after the election, you must be briefed by the National Security Council. Then the National Security Council will come and say, Chief, you know the time you're having election, you say you do the one, eh? Yeah. Okay. You can't do that one, yeah? This is the status of the national security apparatus of the country now. This is the level and the phase of the safety of this country. This is where it is. These decisions need to be taken. This is where we are. This process we have SYC in the era. Only the president they brief. Only the president they will tell us, this is where we are. These are our tentacles all war. This is the area we are. Only you have the ears to hear it. Do you know that the president alone on the National Security Council cannot take national security decisions without the advice of the Security Council? Do you know that?
Just getting to know.
The president, no. He can't alone take national security decisions. The council must start. a bad decision, you can't do it. You do it, this is XYZ. So when they tell the president all of those realities after election where he takes power and then say, Chief, you can't do the one. Chief, they want, we can do the one, but we can't do the one. They play, you're not going over there tomorrow, yeah? We're not clear with that play, and the clearance over there not clear. So you can't go over there. Let's be clear with the clearance to see that the play is safe. These are the people that protect the country. And for those people to take those decisions, the National Security Council, the actors, like the former officials of government, are the ones that promulgate those decisions. So on what basis you will prosecute the man? You put that man on the witness stand. If the man is not loyal, the man will start exposing things that will expose the weakness and the secrets of the country. So we are saying, don't do that. Government's continuity. Protect the state secret, because the secrets of the country, that is strength of the country. When you expose the secret of the country is vulnerable.
Okay.
Did I answer that question well?
Certainly, 100%. I think the public has got a full-fledged insight about this whole thing and where we are going. But again, we are in a time and age where politics and the breakdown of rule of law, where the rule of law have not been taking its own place, and violations have been going on here and there, and sometimes the code will say and people will not do. At this stage now, what's the fate of the Liberian people in the wake of all of this? This is not just only about the CDC, it's government of continuity, and there is a general rule set out for anybody who's governing, even the Unity Party now. You are helping them to put up a strong defense with similar thing to confront them in the future. But what's the fate now? You seen a judge presiding and dismissing a motion and making a determination and an opinion on the matter already that's supposed to say before him. Where does the fate of the public lie in the wake of this?
Well, you know, normally as a trial lawyer, when the judge takes a decision, one of the good things I have, we know and I know, is that a trial judge decision is not final. That's why we have something we call remedial processes.
Certainly.
Don't get vexed with the judge. As a trial lawyer, you don't get vexed. Don't put yourself in the case, because you have remedy at law. You know, so we know very well that the decision of the judge is not absolute. He's just taking an interlocutory ruling. And that interlocutory ruling, it also can expose us to taking decision that, Your Honor, you can recuse yourself because you have already decided the guilt of the defendants, in your ruling. And also we can say, look, your ruling, you overstep the bound as a trial judge, because you part on solely constitutional issues that were raised, and Supreme Court are consistently and persistently warned that when these kind of issues are raised, no court of law has the authority to determine the constitutionality. Only the Supreme Court. And not a justice in chambers. When you file even before the justice in chambers, the justice in chambers cannot even make a determination. He or she will have to send it to the full bench. And that is the law that something that the Supreme Court has established. Where we come from, where we are. Look, let me tell you something. We have a serious problem as a nation. The country is bleeding. Why do I say the country is bleeding? We have the virus of intolerance. We have the virus of hatred. We have the virus of immaturity in dealing with each other. We have the virus of disrespect for the views of others. And then the unfortunate thing of our country is, to be known and respected in Liberia, you don't have to go to school and be educated. Just engage in anti-social tendencies. You get on radio, maybe, or now radio say Facebook. You call people mothers around you and parents. Some people will glorify you. If you contest election, you might likely win.
Sure.
Liberia is the only country that the intellectuals are not in charge. Going thoroughly on that for the war, the intellectuals are in charge. Some of the things that happen in our country, the Sierra Leoneans don't allow it. You get one late car come on the street or on radio, He causing people, officials, people that can born him, disrespect them, and we hail him. We gave him glorification. We got a man that degrades the morality that lead the country to moral decadence. And that man is ready to contest for elections, and people are following him to contest and support the man. These are the viruses that we have. We have the virus of not respecting the intellectuals and the professionals. And no country develops with these kind of viruses.
Right.
Until we put our perspectives in order. Until we have a problem. So that's the problem, that's the issue you have. It is the nature of the society we have. And now the nature of the society is reflected in the people that they elect. Baby, look at what happened in Gontan. A man that was elected by the people went on Facebook or went in a section and look at the associate justice of the Honorable the Supreme Court on an opinion that he expressed, based on an opinion that he gave, and said the man's decision, that statement was the liquor talk. That was an irresponsible statement by lawmaker. The day I saw that thing, look, man, whole stomach got better in me. I'm just telling you the extent of the disrespect we have in this country and that we have respected it.
Right.
An associate justice, a high priest of the court, gives an opinion, further interpretation of why they rule the way they rule. In law, we call it the doctrine of ratio decidendi, the rationale behind the decision. You can't say the thing they mentioned as bekoto. That is the greatest symbol of disrespect and irresponsibleness of our society. With all the education we have as counselors at law, when we go before the Supreme Court, AB, you are a lawyer, you know. People, those 5 people, when they're sitting up there in that Supreme Court, and there can be counselor at law, whoever, when you appear before those people to act, AB, they're not joke. That's a small thing. It's that you are the stage of you have an echelon of society dispensing a legal argument to legal philosophers to make it. But to even stand before the people, you must know what you're saying. People like, oh, we go there. Senior lawyers go there. They are demean. They behave themselves. Then one labor who they just appointed a few days, maybe even asking what's your name, he can't even spell it good, went to work and said the associate justice of the Supreme Court statement was just a liquor talk. That's your country, yeah? We are talking here.
Okay.
Well, wonder where they have the opportunity to travel out of this country. They go Ghana. Look at Ghana. Ghana, with all the way these guys have their differences, their ideological, philosophical, political, intellectual difference on the system, the management of government. Like, bro, their country can't fight. They can have their disagreement, but when it comes to the identity of the country,
right,
the country comes first.
It comes first.
Look at Ghana. Look at Abidjan. Look at Abidjan. And these were countries where their people were coming to this country to do transshipment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These were countries where their intellectuals in diplomacy, when they got the election, they needed to be trained as diplomats. They came to the Foreign Service Institute in Liberia to be trained as diplomats. The Ghanaians, the Nigerians, the Sierra Leoneans. Yes. So what went wrong? What went wrong? The mistake we made is that after the war, we never allowed the intellectuals to be in charge. And so Liberia is fighting another war. And that war is called the value conflict war. The functional illiterate, those who are that they don't have big, who are that they're so educated, they know all. When they know nothing, they go do writing, they go do AR reference, they go, they say, oh, the men are intellectual. When they can't defend it and talk something, they know what to look and talk what they say. That the people that are leading us, my brother, that the people that are conducting everything. So the tolerance is not there because education is something that goes with stages, that training, that orientation. You got to grow. You got to be cooked and done. You must be tested. Because when you're educated, you are tolerant. When you are educated, you know how to analyze issues, you listen. When you're educated, you know how to dichotomize between sentiment and objectivity. You will understand that political differences are not personal differences. The country must move forward. It's sometimes it can be shameful. When we go to other people, when people start following, they're looking on the Facebook, they're looking at us. I went to the RCC. I didn't tell you the experience, but let me just say it just for the time. When I just went to the RCC January, I think January, where I spent almost a month before I came in, I went back for my family. Besides people that I met, there no Liberian were there. When people ask me, I come, I say Liberia, and they say, where is it? So even find out that you saw me and talk, when I saw it, they released that joy, that emotion, then I must shed tears. I'm looking for the flag, I was pumping I can see it. It was a South African friend of mine who told me, he said, Council, let's look down, let's look at the names. The country, then we saw Liberia. We started looking for the flag on the other flag. Our flag was way inside because nobody. Until he said, Johnson, this is the flag. I had the flag holding it. He said, no, you have to take photo. They call the RCC photographer. I felt that pride of being a Liberian. But people asking you, oh, where's the Liberia? You got to summarize your history as a country, my brother, to the people. They say, I said, we were the first independent nation in Africa. I said, we guided the process of independence in Africa. We nurture the other African countries. You know that brand man, I will get it close. So he gave me that kind of opportunity. I'll talk BBT. Yeah. And right there, we coordinated. Now we are about to start organize an association that will be parallel with the International Criminal Court Bar Association, the African owned. And I'm the Secretary General working on that to organize it for African lawyers to have voices at the level of the RCC and the International Criminal Tribunal. You know, there are two. The International Criminal Tribunal is different from the RCC.
Okay.
The International Criminal Tribunal is called the United Nations International Residual Mechanism for Criminal Tribunals. I'm a certified counsel of that code too. And then you have the International Criminal Court as a certified counsel too. So these are two distinct. But the RCC does not hear cases that were committed below 2002. Under the doctrine of retroactivity. Yeah. So the United Nations International Residual Mechanism, which we call the criminal tribunals, that are also stationed in The Hague and in Rwanda, we are the ones that can hear cases of genocide, war crimes, crimes against humanity that were committed below 2002. So like Brennan is talking about establishing the International Criminal Court. It will be the mechanism that will be sitting in Liberia. It's not the RCC.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, it's not the RCC.
I'm saying, okay.
But you can't just practice there. You got to be sanctioned by the institution, certified, and you got to meet all of the requirements. You take the test. After everything, you take the oral test, you pass it, then the judges vote, and the registrar of the court writes you that you have been appointed to be a certified counsel, meaning you are now qualified as a lawyer before the court to work out and defend. You can imagine whole country will get only 2 persons. It hurts me. That's why now I'm fighting for most of our colleagues to go there. Democratic Republic of Congo has about 71 lawyers as list of counsel. So we gotta be thinking big. Liberia comes first. Leave the political divide.
In Liberia, you get be more passing around with BBT or so, BB.
All day we fighting each other. All day we fight each other. All day we fight. We pay insurance. Say, my man, your cost are man for 1 week. Let me get you one story. Let me get you my experience today. AB. You remember I was the lawyer for Jeremiah Kun, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I won the case that made him the senator from Nibakati. And you know that?
Yeah. Sure, I recall that.
Good. It was where he went against Ide Gonglu.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the dynamics and the complexity of the Liberian politics. That is so unfortunate. When I represented the vice president, at that time he was just the senator. He was the representative.
Yeah, them transitioning to senator. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at that time you have Ide Gonglu where the CPP were together. And then the CPP, Ide Gonglu were objected to the elections and went to that. Her team was so sophisticated. She had most of the best brains in the legal profession that was supporting her argument. You had the former Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia, Gloria Mususcat. You have the former Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia, Francis Johnson Murray. You had the former Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia, Minister of Justice, Councillor Tewan Gonglo, my own senior big brother, who I respect highly. You had my other senior brother now, who is now the Solicitor General, Austin Fire. At that time, he was former assistant. We refer to as former assistant Minister of Justice for Litigation, who was on the team. You have Councillor Kuku Dobo. You have Councillor Philip Gonglo. You have I think about 2 to 3 other attorneys. So the team was so sophisticated, they had almost about 9 to 10 lawyers. Councillor Cooper Cry joined him on the team. Then from the day we won the case, when they see people, I know all of them are in politics. They went and took one labor who, in fact, is my oldest child is older than him. Today, who say is an active leader. And point on the stand and say, my man calls that man. If you witnesses, you know, I took insult for 6 years in this country. Because I represented Jeremiah Kun.
You're right.
Jeremiah Kun now became vice president, Senate bearer and vice president for the Union Party. The same very people who were causing me are now the ones that were supporting the unfortunate nature of the Liberian politics.
People don't stand for anything.
Then they say no question Arthur Johnson degree, for God's sake. Then you look at somebody who just got a bachelor's degree. He said, no, the PhD I got, where when you go on Facebook, you will see on the internet the graduation, my name was called. I was given a PhD by the Atlanta International University, the institution that in fact is accredited by SDSR, an international accredited agency from Great Britain. They said, no, my man, just for 6 years. 6 years. Course. You look at me with 5 masters degree. I have a master. My first master was in international relations and diplomacy. International relations, I mean, at the RBB. Professor Kido is my classmate. That was the last time I put. I'm the first student in the history of the University of Liberia to be the first to graduate with 2 professional distinguished degrees, law degree and master's degree in political science from the University of Liberia in 2019. You go to the yearbook, you see my name 2 times. One in the RBB, one in the law school. I graduated from there after getting 2 bachelor. I did double bachelor. I was a bachelor in criminal justice, bachelor in public administration, and political science at the University of Liberia. I graduated with a 2 bachelor degree. I graduated with a 2 degree, law degree, and master's degree in political science. I went back, I got my 2nd master in public administration. I got my 3rd master's in conflict and peace studies. The same University of Liberia. I got my master's in law, entire advocacy from the James E. Bisley School of Law, Temple University in Philadelphia. Temple University, check it on trial advocacy. Google it. Is the world #1 trial advocacy school among the law schools. They were best in trial advocacy.
Councilor John.
Law school. Yeah.
Like
then I got my master's of philosophy in criminal justice science. I got my PhD in legal studies. I am doing now, writing my dissertation for my 2nd PhD in criminal justice law and public policy. And then another dissertation now that I'm doing with Galilee International University, International School of Management, I mean, yeah, with security aspect, international relations and diplomacy with security aspect. I'm doing my PhD. Then one lay neophyte comes and say, you know everything, say one question, and that kind of thing I will go respond to 6 years. So now they pay all up for cause the man. The man get it, the man get it.
Right.
That's the kind of country we have. And they see, you know, karma is where in the life. They see very people that were paying the child to insult me and castigate me. They were running after them now. Defending. And that's why way back I say, karma does not forget. The snake is not a pet. When you feed a snake, and that snake grows, and a particular time you cannot feed that snake again, the snake will bite. And sometimes you not be equal, the snake will start biting you. Now, they see other people they were supporting to cause other people, that the people now, they try causing them now. So they can't even say anything because they say anything the children will cause their about. The children will expose them. And you pay me to do the one before, and you pay me to do the one. Liberian politics have to graduate from this. But the reason it's happening because we have functional illiterates in leadership. And one of the ways they see to protect themselves in politics is to do this. But then, of course, man, you're causing all the way you go personal will happen. Then it gets crash car, then you get some of them and they posting. When you go in the men profile, you go see the men are posting. Even the children, even the people you have living with you, after the people you have living with you, the standard of living that you gave them, they not even reach to that kind of standard. That kind of person can be on Facebook to go insult you. You will go after them. You can't do that. But this is the problem. That's why the intellectuals have hired themselves. All our intellectuals in this country, nobody wants to talk because they don't want to be insulted.
You're right. You're right.
They don't want to be insulted.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we have the functional illiterate in charge. People around here winning elections because they can go on Facebook 100 times. They can win elections. That's your country there. Oh, man, my brother.
All right, Councilor.
Thank you, Abby. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, certainly. It was good. It was good. Educative. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. All right. He's Councilor Arthur Johnson. And of course, he had been right here with us speaking and, of course, elaborating on a lot of issues, especially and digging deeper into the Liberian society, climaxing with that. That's the pain we go through on a daily basis. The hurling insults at us for educating them, for telling them what it is. But again, here is life. And thank you so much. That was in a serious country. And that's the fact. We're going to kind of people that will be criticizing you and critiquing you. Sometimes you got to ask them, what is your thought? What are you thinking? Who are you supporting for which you are criticizing me? They go point to the person, a useless person. How is that kind of thing? Thanks so much to all of you. Time is of essence. And we have to go. So, folks, wherever you are, it's great being right here with us tonight on this day. And a couple of you were, while we're speaking in speech, you were playing the Friday jackpot, like I said, the Friday jackpot, but the play is not too encouraging. And perhaps the interviews portion And yeah, it took away a lot. All right, so a lot of you and were able to play as well. So we'll be able to do draws for few of you, about 15%, 25,000. Well, got times 15. Wow, a lot of money. All right, so the draws will be done and you will be called subsequently. In fact, the money will hit you up as we speak. All right, so they say right here on this very die. And we're going to be right back here on Monday. So until we are back here, God willing, I want to wish you all the best. Do have a pleasant weekend. And I have a wonderful time. And this is all the time we've got. You got the knowledge, you got the understanding. No time for call. So I want to wish you all the best. Thanks so much for everything you do for our country. So until we are back here, do have a pleasant night. Bye-bye.